Welcome to this explainer. When you picture the absolute ultimate tropical utopia, what instantly comes to mind? It's probably crystal clear turquoise waters, right? Untouched white sand. Basically, the Maldives. It's universally marketed as this flawless paradise on Earth. But today, we're going to dive straight into that fantasy and uncover a pretty shocking reality that is carefully, and I mean very carefully, kept right out of the frame of those glossy travel brochures. Because before we get totally swept away by the magic of those stunning overwater bungalows, we actually need to hit pause. We have to ask ourselves a very practical and honestly pretty unsettling question about this perfect escape. Where exactly does paradise put its trash? Seriously, think about it. Every single half-eaten buffet meal, every plastic water bottle, all that discarded luxury packaging, it actually has to go somewhere. Which brings us to the illusion of paradise and what it really takes to maintain this tropical utopia. Look, visitors are more than happy to pay absolutely premium prices for this experience. We're talking $1,000 a night easily, and they're paying for what they think is a flawless, temporary escape from the real world. When you're dropping that kind of cash, you expect absolute perfection, right? But keeping up that pristine facade requires a staggering amount of behind-the-scenes work, and it generates a severe environmental crisis that guests are quite literally never meant to see. The sheer volume of resources it takes to keep this illusion alive is wild. The daily waste generated by just one single tourist is massively higher than what a local resident produces. Think about it. Every fresh hotel towel, every imported luxury snack, endless single-use plastics, it all adds up so fast. Just imagine the garbage your own house makes in a week, and now multiply that by thousands of tourists, demanding five-star perfection every single day. It's a logistical nightmare for a nation that's basically just a chain of tiny coral atolls. So let's talk about Thilafushi, the literal island of garbage. We're going to drop the curtain on those luxury resorts for a minute. If you travel just a few miles away from the capital city of Malé, you'll find a carefully concealed nightmare. Thilafushi isn't some gorgeous natural coral reef. It is a massive, artificial landmass built almost entirely out of municipal and tourist waste. It's like an apocalyptic landscape, constructed literally from the leftovers of five-star luxury. It is the physical, real-world manifestation of all that excess we just talked about. We're talking hundreds of tons here. That is how much solid waste is unloaded onto Thilafushi every single day. Just try to picture that. Heavy trucks dumping load after load of garbage, nonstop from dawn until dusk. Because the tourists keep coming, there is this unending, relentless stream of trash constantly being ferried away from the pristine beaches to be dumped onto this ever-growing fake island. And it is a totally chaotic dumping ground. The waste that arrives isn't being carefully sorted into recycling bins. No way. Everyday food scraps from those lavish, all-you-can-eat buffets are tossed right alongside highly hazardous materials. We're talking toxic batteries and literally mountains of discarded plastic, all just mixed indiscriminately together. Rotting organic matter sitting right next to leaking chemicals. It's honestly mind-boggling how poorly managed this whole system is. So how do they actually handle this rapidly growing mountain of toxic, unsorted junk? Well, their primary disposal method isn't some state-of-the-art recycling facility. Nope, it's open-air burning. So instead of that gentle, salty ocean breeze you'd expect in the Maldives, Thilafushi is constantly choked by massive, dangerous plumes of thick, toxic smoke just billowing up from the burning trash. And that leads us to the hidden human cost. Life inside that toxic smoke. Because as horrifying as the environmental side of this is, the human cost is so much worse. The entire daily operation of this garbage island runs almost exclusively on the backs of an underpaid migrant workforce. These are the laborers working completely in the shadows, miles away from the vacationers sipping cocktails and their $1,000 villas. These workers are the ones tasked with actually managing the highly hazardous reality of all this accumulated luxury waste. The daily conditions for these workers are just horrific. They're literally forced to actively sift through burning refuse day after day. And the craziest part? Proper protective gear is extremely scarce. This leaves them completely vulnerable. They are exposed to severe heavy metal contamination from all those unsorted batteries and melting plastics they have to walk through and breathe in every single shift. It's an absolutely staggering human toll, just to make sure those resorts stay looking picture perfect. Which really forces us to rethink ethical travel and ask about the true cost of luxury. It's a pretty brutal reality check, isn't it? When you put that stark visual contrast side by side, it fundamentally challenges the whole narrative we're fed about these destinations. On one side, you've got the serene, crystal clear water in those amazing $1,000 a night villas. And right on the other side, apocalyptic, burning mountains of toxic trash on Thilafushi. It definitely makes you question the whole idea of ecotourism when just the basic waste generated by your trip creates a hazard of this massive magnitude. Ultimately, we kind of have to just let this reality sink in for a moment. When we buy into that perfect illusion of a flawless paradise, when we pay top dollar to just unplug and escape reality, who is really paying the ultimate price for the trash we leave behind? Thanks for tuning into this explainer. I really hope this gives you something profound to think about the next time you see a picture-perfect snapshot of paradise.